Hello and welcome back to the Positivity Podcast. This isn't a scripted podcast. This is just me talking real time about my experience during this crazy year, 2020, and the lockdown that we've had. I'm going to be talking about the positives and the negatives that have come out of lockdown and how I felt my journey has kind of adapted during this really weird year. A lot of things have happened during lockdown due to coronavirus. And for me, I find it really strange. As soon as my work told me that we were going into lockdown, I wasn't quite sure how to react. I didn't really know what was coming, as I'm sure everybody else felt as well. It was really strange. And I really thought to myself, what am I going to do? Because you can't go to work, you can't see your family. So what am I supposed to do? Work out? No. Eat more food? Yes. So I thought to myself, the day after it happened, so the 23rd of March 2020, they announced lockdown. And I was at work at the time. We got the announcement. And then I was a bit shocked. I was just thinking about what I was going to do the next day. So the 24th of March. What was I going to do? The rules were just really confusing. You know, we looked 6 months on. It's now 12th of September. It's just mad. It's just a mad year. How it kind of changed my way of life slightly, because you've got to adapt a lot differently as well. And there's so much that's happened in this year. So for example, I had to work from home, which is a completely different experience, not just for me, but for anybody else that had to do it. So when we were working from home, I had my own laptop, I had to talk to customers over the phone there and then. And that was just a weird sensation because I was still in my room. I didn't do it for the whole time that we were in lockdown, but it was still quite strange. And the other things, I mean, you have to go to a shop with a face mask on. I personally think that they took far too long to even do the face masks. It came into effect, I think it was July. But we were in lockdown in March. So for anybody that wanted to go to the shop in March, could have just swandled in, got what they wanted, coughed, sneezed or whatever, picked the nose and then touched the items. It doesn't help the fact that there's a global pandemic. So in my experience of lockdown has been a bit hit and miss. It's been very strange. We've all got to think about how special life is. And I know it sounds really cringy sometimes, but it's true. Because in lockdown you kind of see who your real friends are, who stayed in contact with you and made sure you're alright and checked up on you, which I did a lot with my friends because obviously they're important to me. You know, made some new friends along the way as well. And just making sure your family are safe as well. And I feel really sorry for people that have lost a family member in lockdown due to coronavirus. And it's never a nice thing losing a family member. So for that, you know, you've got to take this seriously. And I still think because of the rules that we have and the rules that we've had, you just can't take it seriously. You know, the new rule that's come into effect, I believe the dates, I think it was either the 14th or the 15th of September on the Monday, where you can't meet up with more than 6 people. But you can still go to a pub. You can still go to work. My work, I know for a fact, has more than 6 people in there. So if they were all browsing in the shop, you could just meet up with all your friends there. The rules are dreadful. And I know it's a tough job trying to keep everybody obeying those rules and making sure that they're always going to listen to those rules. But at the same time, if the rules weren't so confusing to start off with, then we'd probably be alright. Lockdown probably would have eased off a lot quicker if we had those face masks in. Every business has got to think about this as well. Sanitizer, face masks, plastic shields. So we've got to think about the whole kind of country. But in terms of my own experience in lockdown, it's been pretty interesting. Obviously couldn't see my family for quite a long time. I'm a very family orientated man. So that's really tough, not being able to see your mum, your dad, brothers, sisters, or whatever. That's tough. Obviously, we have the power of phones. And I mean, the phones for me, I think a lot of people have appreciated their phone a bit more in lockdown. Just because that's the only way you could FaceTime somebody, you could WhatsApp video somebody, because you couldn't meet up with them. So I was starting to use my phone a bit more just to get in contact with my family and my friends. I kind of enjoyed it. Now let me tell you why. I enjoyed it because I had more time to focus on this. I had more time to focus on my photography course that I'm doing at the moment as well. I just had more time to appreciate the small things as well. Spend a lot more time with Katie, go on lovely dog walks. We could just do very things that you would probably take for granted on a daily basis. I could do, and I really enjoyed that. The thing I didn't enjoy was obviously not being able to see people and have a routine. We kind of got into a routine of walking in the morning, having lunch, doing a bit of whatever we wanted to do, then go for another walk. And that was lovely, and it was really nice having that time off. And you know, for people that were still getting paid and not getting furloughed and all that jazz, it was really nice. And I feel really sorry for the people that lost their jobs during lockdown. There was a lot of people that I know that have lost their jobs and they're trying to search for a new one. And it's tough. It is really difficult to see somebody that have really been passionate about their job sadly lose it. And that is one of probably the most negative things that have come out of lockdown, seeing people lose their jobs. I'm very lucky that I've kept mine. I can't imagine what you've been through, and I'm sorry if you've lost your job and you're watching this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will find another job. I know it might not be the one that you enjoyed for the past certain amount of years, but you will find another job. So please stay positive for that, because again, it's a tough time, but you've got this. You think a couple of months down the line, the coronavirus levels are kind of going a little bit lower, which is great. They introduced this Eat Out to help out, which is fantastic for businesses. You get more custom in, you get more people enjoying their food because of that discount that the government funded. Spike of cases was big. So it's just very contradicting. Stay indoors, stay safe and all that jazz that Boris used to say and say and say. Then introduce a scheme when it's getting lower. Not when it's gone, but when it's lower. Everybody enjoys it, like they should, because they've been told that they can do it. And then it goes back up again. So we are back to square one. We're not back in lockdown yet, as if you're watching this video, we might be. But at the moment, currently, the 12th of September, as I'm recording this, we are not in lockdown again. A part of me thinks that unfortunately we might go back into another lockdown, but if we do, just remember there are people there that you can talk to. This is what the podcast is all about. You've got your friends and family that you can talk to. I think the rules won't go back to literally staying in your house. You could probably go and see your mum and dad. I think a lot of people still will, personally. But at the moment, lockdown the whole year has been absolutely mad. I want you to tell me your experiences down in the comments below, and just tell me what you have potentially done that was new. I found a new love for something, and just tell me what you hated as well. It's always good to weigh the positives and negatives out, and I think that would be a good conversation starter for us in the comments, just to let me know what you found interesting about lockdown and what you found frustrating. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe with the little bell that you can see there as well. Click on that so you get notified when my latest videos are out. The link is in the description below for the previous video on this channel. My name's Nathaniel, this is the Positivity Podcast, and I will catch you in the next one, guys. Take care. I don't know what I'm talking about half time. Honestly, I think lockdown's made me a bit crazy. I mean, who am I even speaking to now? zoom in. Hello. Do you come here often? Wow. Let's just zoom back out. Hello and welcome to the podcast of positivity. Hello and welcome to the show. No. I can see it in your smile. You're all I ever wanted, and your is open wide. No, I can't say that. Yeah, I'm done now.